So Heath and Sheila, welcome to our podcast. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
You're great.
Good, good, good. So you guys are newer franchisees out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And remind me again, what did you guys come on?
November 1st is when we started getting leads. I think we actually signed our papers in what?
In July.
Yeah. Took
Yeah.
us a
Okay.
minute.
All right. So July took a minute. You went through training, you did some onboarding, you launched November. And then, so you've been active for about 3 months, just over 3 months. What's the 3 months been like for you guys?
Like drinking through a fire hose, but it's been in a good way. Ton of leads. That's one thing. The biggest reason why we went Red Barn was to get started on the right foot and not have to figure everything out. Leads have been awesome. The Red Barn Central was awesome as far as, setting up campaigns and keeping up with leads and stuff. I've had several sales jobs with CRMs, and that CRM's awesome.
Very
Uh,
cool.
but yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Now,
Training.
your background is you guys are a mother-son team. Maybe just for those who are watching this, a little bit about your background, how you guys came to be in business together, and what you were doing before this.
Well, I spent about 20 years doing hair when the kids were growing up, but we built our own house several years ago, and that sort of got me into learning about, that and getting interested in remodeling or building and stuff like that. And then about 5 years ago, I went back to school and got my drafting degree. So now I do drafting at a manufactured homes. And
Yeah.
so
Ton of HGTV,
Yes.
DIY.
a lot of DIY projects.
But yeah, I mean, growing up as a kid, like mom was always super handy. She built our beds when we were kids that had
Yeah.
drawers in them and stuff. They were awesome.
Wow.
Our house, and I
I'm the
always,
handyman.
my dream was always to take care of mama, and she always wanted to flip houses.
Mhm.
And that become kind of my dream is to go to college, make enough money to where I can, set ourselves up where we start flipping houses down the road.
And he does have a business degree from college too, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, real estate was always the end goal. I had to find some kind of something to make enough money to where I thought I'd have to put all my own money into. I didn't know about the hard money lending and being able to, leverage private lending, that kind of stuff. I had no idea. But after a couple of sales jobs that I didn't enjoy, I sold power sports for 2 years, and I got insurance that I'm getting out of now that I absolutely hated. And finally just going to make it happen. What we've always wanted to do. So,
So you were working a full-time job in sales while getting this business off the ground over the last couple of months. And now what, 3-4 months in, you're already ready to go full-time.
I mean, I was chomping at the bit to get out of insurance as quick as possible. And this has honestly got going a lot quicker than I ever could have imagined. So yeah, I'm going full steam ahead and taking a leap of faith.
I'm sticking with mine right now, but as soon as we can get to a point where we can, I'm getting out of mine too.
That's awesome.
Because I can still do my drafting and I'll, design the houses that we're working on.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've had some opportunities to do some deals already right out of the gates. You did a wholesale deal. You've had some contracts. You've got another flip that you guys are chasing down right now. I mean, what's that been like? I mean, you're immediately in the action. How's that felt?
It's a ton of fun. Like it's nice doing something that I'm interested in and I enjoy. Like it doesn't feel like work. I work 15, 16-hour days and not think twice about it because I'm just consumed by it. But
Yeah. We stayed up till midnight the other night at his house working on the 3D prints on the house that we're trying to get, just to see what we want to do with it and how we can make it look and all that. So
like giddy kids playing a video game or something.
yeah,
That's great.
That's amazing. So in your first couple of weeks, you knocked down a deal. What did that deal look like?
It was a deal out in Huntsville, which is our by far biggest market. Got a lead on it. Sent the guy an offer based off comps, and he honestly, I think I offered like 165, and the guy just ghosted me, got mad at me, just took it personal. And I kept on like, hey man, I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake. Let me let me look at it again. Let me get you a new offer. Ended up offering him 205. Tracy Cooper helped me on that to, tell me kind of what I should offer, that kind of stuff. Um, so he actually agreed to that number. And, I had my 2 week due diligence. I posted it and I got a good bit of people looking at it and stuff, had people look at it. They did their numbers. They thought my ARV was wrong. My rehab was too low, all this stuff. I got an offer of like 165, 170, I think was the best offer. And, found some stuff that I didn't catch originally. So I went back to the seller and renegotiated and actually ended up getting it for what I originally offered at 165.
Wow. That's a big reduction. That's awesome.
He had some roof issues, some stuff that I didn't catch, just by first glance.
Sure.
So I ended up, using that stuff to renegotiate. And he kind of, once he saw what I was looking at, he kind of realized what reality was. And he was in Florida. I mean, he needed to get rid of the house.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yep.
And, so went from not being able to sell that house to getting a bid more and made about 15 grand on that wholesale deal. And
Beautiful.
it was the easiest thing I've ever done once I got that part done.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
you didn't have to buy it. You just negotiated it and then you just assigned your contract to another local investor.
Yeah. Cash buyer. I mean, that dude he sent me proof of funds. I done told him, I've got somebody I made a good relationship with, and he was going to pay 175 for it. He's like, I'll give you 180. Like, I mean, it's the media. I was like, I don't want to burn a bridge. Let me talk to some other guy. He's already pretty much, told me he wanted it. Another guy's like, he's offered to give you that, man. Just let him have it.
Yeah.
So it turned out really well.
That's awesome, man. And so since then, you knocked one out there pretty quick, and then you've had some contracts come and go and fall out, and that's part of it, especially here in the first couple of months, you're still getting your feet wet. But it sounds like you've got a nice big flip that you guys are working on right now, that one you guys have been working on drafting. Just rough numbers, tell me kind of what the house is and what the numbers could look like if you can get this thing pinned down.
So I've learned that people want too much for their houses, and you got to find a way to show them I'm not just lowballing you. Like, this is just how the numbers work.
That's right.
And we went back and forth, and I finally told him, like, look, he's wanting like 150, 145. So I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and put on a contract for 145. I personally, my numbers don't work there, but I'll see if I can find somebody for you that does. And so I marketed it, tried to find him somebody at that number, and I couldn't get anybody to really buy at that number. So I told him once our due diligence was over, I was like, hey man, I've got to terminate this contract. We got to renegotiate. And I told him I'm at anywhere from 100 to 120 because my actually last day of my due diligence, we found some foundation stuff that's going to have to be, we're going to have to get a quote and figure out how expensive that's going to be.
Yep.
So we're in renegotiations right now to try to get us at a purchase price that will help the numbers work. But at 120, we're estimating anywhere from 100 to 120,000 rehab because it's got, I mean, the whole interior needs to be stripped out. It's got red and green carpet and paneling.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Yellow room with green carpet.
It's awful. A lot of bad DIY.
Yeah, that's normal.
Red brick with a green roof. A awful yellow 2-story barn that, I mean, it could help the value once it's not just ugly.
Yeah.
But it's got acreage. It's got 3 acres of ponds.
Wow.
So it's ugly duckling, but it's got potential.
Right.
I think the numbers, once I've talked to a local realtor, anywhere from 325 to 350 resale.
Nice.
So if we dump 100 to 120 in it, it should be a no-brainer, a knock out of the park, hopefully. So
yeah. I mean, geez, a 2-story brick house, 2,000 square foot on acreage with a pond and a barn. I mean, I'd be shocked if it wasn't worth fully fixed up 340.
Yeah, the house is just 1 story. The barn's 2-story, but the house
barn is 2 story.
Yeah.
What? It's still was it 2,000 square foot house?
Yeah, 1942, something like that. I think so.
That's a big house with
it's
some
got
great acreage.
Carport that's been enclosed in the house, but it's heated and cooled and all that. So we're probably just going to leave that as part of that, opening it back up.
Gotcha.
So into it, if I got your numbers right, into it for about 240, right? If you get it ballpark, is that what you're
Right.
thinking?
Yeah.
Retail for 340, 350
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All day long.
all day.
Yeah. Even at 325, I like to run worst case scenarios, and holding costs and everything involved. I ran the numbers, and the only way we'd even break even is if we go over rehab and we hold it for 9 months and it goes for 290.
And you're still, yeah.
So I'm thinking that we've got to jump on this one. So
Yeah. You gotta make this one happen. Love it, man. I love the fact that just a couple months in, you guys are moving and shaking. There's, I guarantee that there are some folks listening to this video right now who are going to stand on the sidelines, thinking about getting into real estate, thinking about flipping houses, thinking about working with Red Barn Homebuyers. Now you are, being on the other side of this, what would you tell somebody that's in that position right now?
I think it's a great opportunity.
I've been the guy that's looked at things I thought was a good opportunity and never jumped. I mean, there's been a lot of things, the Amazon, fulfillment stuff and all that, and people don't jump on it. This is something that I always had a passion for. When I saw Ken's ad on Instagram, I honestly, man, I hated insurance so bad. I was praying for something to just fall in my lap to show me that I'm in the wrong industry and I need to do something else. And I swear the next day that ad popped up. So.
And then he called me.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know what? I think that's exactly what I was asking for. And I mean, I'll be stupid to ignore it. So,
Right.
What's funny is I put my information in and forgot about it. And I got a missed call from an Atlanta number. And I got text like, hey, we were supposed to have a meeting and spoke to Christina. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about it. I felt terrible, and she was still nice enough to call me back. And we had a great conversation, and then it was a wrap from there. I mean, every time we spoke to somebody in the organization, it felt better and better about it.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's been great.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that. Well, 6 months later, you got the benefit of now a little experience under your belt, and you're speaking from experience. We appreciate the fact you guys have come on board. You guys have been fantastic franchisees. I love the markets you're in. I love your enthusiasm. You guys, honestly, you have such a bright future ahead of you guys in that market, and with your experience and what you guys are doing, man. A year from now, we need to do this again and talk about the 10 flips you guys have under your belt.
Right. We hope so.
Yeah. I would love to see that video too.
Awesome, guys. Well, we appreciate your time today.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Take care.